guys, welcome to Comfy Cozy Up. So we're doing another what have I read, what am I reading, that kind of deal. And also I had a weekend vlog. Now when I was looking at the footage I have, it's very choppy, wasn't organized because I was living in a moment. I had an amazing weekend with my friend that I've known since I was 13 and her kids, who happens to also be my godkids. So I'm gonna be showing you some of that footage and some of that stuff in the vlog, but let's start off with what I've read, and then I'll give you some craft stuff which I did with them. So yeah, I'm gonna put it in this video, but I was explaining certain things that I was doing. Now the last video I did, I talked about the known world, and this was the Read So Led Read Along, and this is Edward P. Jones. Now what I would say about this book, I finished it before the weekend, way before the weekend. I think I finished like a week now, and I intended on being, you know, watch the live show as it was aired, but of course I had different plans for the weekend, so I did not. I have still yet to watch the show, but I'm gonna tell you, this was fantastic. For a storyline heavy as this, and how the twist and the turn at the end, it has the element of where it's just that suspense that was there, like how it's gonna end, what's gonna happen. Then you think about certain characters in this in a way that you didn't think about in the beginning of the book, especially Moses and the things that happened and how he got caught up in certain things, and whether or not some of the things he did, was it impulse in terms of the taste of freedom and what he wanted, even though he was in an environment where somewhat he felt, most would feel like he's a little bit safer than other people, but essentially he's still a slave. So of course his heart is in the place of being free and wanting to be free, and what he was willing to do to get that. But then he also had a moment of weakness where he was so wrapped up in his own that he didn't see the distress he would have caused for someone else. And if you read this, you know what I'm talking about. So overall, I think the writing is incredibly great. Like, his writing was on point. We see why he won the Pulitzer Prize for this. And the storyline was, to me, very different, very interesting. Not something you commonly see in a book that's around slavery. So I was very much a fan of this book. Big fan of this book. And I can't wait to sit down and relax and actually watch the show and how it's dissected and what people thought of the book. But we'll see. I mean, maybe I will have different thoughts on some things when I do my monthly wrap up. But absolutely, February is doing me good. And then the book that I thought was, I knew this author was fire. But my goodness, when I tell you, he has now come auto buy. Like, if he's out the book, I'm reading it. S.A. Cosby, All the Sinners Bleed. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, we're talking suspense, thriller, South, racial tension, things that's happening. And how he did a story like this, where when you realize who the person who done did it, who that, you know, the wolf is and all that stuff, you are going to be like, oh, the cleverness of this storyline. This is about a black sheriff that was elected, and he was previously FBI. He would come back to this town that his family is from, where he's from. And within, you know, his early time as the big guy, a man walked up into a school and killed a teacher. And now you are learning why he killed the teacher, who was the teacher, and also other people that series of events happen. How are they connected to the story? And as they dig, it comes up where there's a bigger issue of a mass killing that happened quite so many years ago that is now being dig up and discovering. And there's like this big storyline, and how this man is wrapped up in it because now he becomes a target in the middle of the investigation. Absolutely great writing, how he twists and turns the story, how he suck you in, how he really, up until the end, you are still trying to figure out who the person is, because you really don't know, and he's learning as the storyline goes who is really the target. And it's one of those where every time he come in contact with certain people, you wonder if that's the person, that's the person. This is a creative writer. This is a person that knows how to write this genre, because a lot of time when you think about this genre, sometimes you can pick an easily who's what. Not this. Not this. This was fantastic. Absolutely one of my favorite books in February. I mean, right now we got 3 books that I feel like I am fist pumping, like, oh, they're like in my top 10 so far this year. Favorites. There's some 5 stars in the mix this month, and I'm very happy about it. Very happy about it. So if you haven't read this, absolutely read this. Also read the other book. And this is a book, this is the author I wouldn't have picked up if it wasn't for a subscriber pick from last year. And this is how I end up picking up his second book, his latest release, because of that. So you guys are really giving me authors that now I'm loving and hype about every time I pick up a book. Now, this is the February pick. I'm hoping to finish this before the end of the month. I don't know. But you know what I did? I researched her. So I wanted to know more about Betsy Coleman, and to know what happened to her. I had no idea how she died, and just to learn the scandal and the unfortunate devious thing that happened, how she passed. I had no idea. I just knew what she, as far as the aviation, I knew her as a pioneer, but didn't know like how young she was when she passed, and that whole entire plane crash thing. So to know that the author this book is considered a novel because of, and it is inspired by her. So this is the author just added on. It's kind of like when I read last year By Our Own Design about Anne Lowe. It's the same thing. The book is about Anne Lowe, but of course they had to consider it fiction because there's things about it, or what she feels and say, you don't know. That's the author's imagination. So I'm curious, because it started off with talking about that, and it has a lot of poetry in the beginning. There's some poetry, and we're gonna get into this, but again, it is a beast. It is big, it is chunky, and I want to focus just on this for the rest of the month. That's the whole point of this. So art and craft, let's talk about it. So my jacket that was giving me a headache in January, I did finish it, so I will post here so you can see. And it was not fun. I don't think the lining is as clean as I would like it to be, especially when I made the jacket, the previous jacket that I showed you, how nice and neat it was. This was not as neat inside as I would like it, but it is going to be worn because it's very vintage. It's a 90s vintage pattern, so it's oversized. It's gonna be a bit baggy on me. This is how it's supposed to be. Now it is supposed to have some shoulder pad, and I have a shoulder pad I'm gonna use, but it's one of those shoulder pads that I can take out because I don't think I want to have it all the time. But I really haven't tried it on with the shoulder pad, so I think I'm gonna do that at some point just to see how I like it. But because it's supposed to be worn with shoulder pad, I think that's why it's so slouchy when I don't have it on with the shoulder pad. But we'll see. We're figuring it out. And that's it. Again, I did not really do any sewing. I took the time off. My journal now, nowhere. It's just literally that, and it's inside. So I think this week I'm gonna start adding the fabric I want to put inside and start working on it. One of my subbies suggested to, like, if I wanted to just widen this. The reason why this is so nicely done that I feel like I do not want to have to create my own spine when it's already like this nice. It's sad because I won't be able to put more than 2 months in this, but at the same time I have more, so it's like I'll be all right. I have more, so it's no big deal. So Now let's get into some vloggy stuff. So we're gonna start with how I did a workshop with my godkids, and one is grown, she grown now. Oh, she grown now. And one's like just a teenager. So it was nice. They get to do their own junk journal. So I'm gonna put some footage here so you can start looking at how the day started off, because they were here for 3 days. So we did the whole painting thing because we had time for it to dry, versus when I do the workshop I don't get to do the painting stuff because you gotta wait till it dry, and we don't have that much time. But being that they were here, we were able to do the painting part, so you get to see that here. Basically, we're doing some junk journal, so of course they're starting with the painting because we're going to be having a fun day today. And hopefully I do an intro before this, because this is not the intro I wanted to do, but we're going to get this done. So let me show you what they are up to, and we're going to let it dry for the day, and then we're going to end up coming back tonight to do the inside. Look at the color. It's going to be, so she has metallic purple, so it's going to be so nice when it's dry. And she has pink, but she don't know what the cover gonna look like yet, but we're working through it. And I have some really pretty things in here, so we're gonna do some maybe Victorian looking one for one of them, because I think the pearls will be really, really nice. So we'll see. So this is where we at, guys, and yeah, I'm excited. All right, so we also took a pause in between that, where I went snow tubing. Now, I have not done snow tubing in quite some years. I think at the time my brother was much younger and he was into that, but I just haven't. And so this was fun, but we went to a different location than the one that I've been to before. And this, of course, is a resort, so it's very popular, so there was a lot of people there. And the parking lot to the place is a good distance. You are walking, okay? You are walking. And so we went through that, so you get to see some scenery of us crossing the bridge towards the place. And I was so glad that I bought the ticket online, because when we got there, it was sold out. So one of the things I liked about this is that the weather's changing. Even though it was cold, it was in the 30s, it was sunny. It was a beautiful sunny day, so it felt very spring. It just gives you that idea that, okay, spring is definitely near. So it was easy to enjoy it, even though the weather was, even though it was cold, it was easy because, again, the sun was beaming and it was just a good sunny day. But as unfortunately, we had a good time. I think I went down at least 3 times. One of them went down like 4. We enjoy the snow tubing, but it became a little bit concerning after a while because there was more ice than actual, like, the fluffy snow. And that's because the weather is changing again, because last week it was 50-something degrees. Matter of fact, this week it's 50-something degrees again. I think by the end of this week it might go up to 60. So this is the end of winter season, so a lot of these resorts are like just getting as much as they can get, because they can't maintain a safe situation, because I mean, people were flying off them tubes. They were flying off those tubes. They were trying to modify and put certain things to control it. And because I'm a big girl, the bigger you are, the faster you go down. And I'm telling you, I was going down backwards. I was going down backwards. And I wish I had more footage of me actually going down. But, you know, it was hard to, like, really record in certain area. But I had a good time. We are on the lift with my tube. Yeah. It's exciting, because I haven't done one of this in a while. But it's cold. It's cold. But we are here. Having a good time. Yeah. So the snow tubing is over. We're exhausted. We had fun. It's cold. It's cold. And look at the baby in the back. Say hi, Donna. Hey.
I thought you didn't want to be in the video.
You don't? Apparently I'm gonna get sued.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get sued. And look at her.
She gonna blur my face out.
I'm gonna blur your face out?
Yeah, you gonna blur my face out.
You sure about that? You gotta pay me.
What? I didn't sign no media release.
Well, you didn't sign nothing coming out here. Have me driving out here in the cold.
Well, that's all part of it.
Oh.
Is that the snow blower? Why don't
Yeah, it's a snowblower. And then we decided to go and eat some seafood. I don't know why. Every time somebody visits me, I take them there. I take, you know, the man there, I took my mom, and everyone always liked the spot. The thing is, if you are a typical New Yorker, you expect small portion of seafood, and this place gives you a good portion. So there was a lot of food being ordered, and and that, you know, people couldn't eat because they were full, and the bill wasn't bad at all for 5 people. It was absolutely not bad at all. I think this is a reasonable spot, and I like that I can enjoy seafood and not worry about, you know, because I think if we were in New York, the bill would have probably been twice what we paid. No no if and buts about it. So we enjoyed ourselves. Then we came back and started finishing up the journal. So here's the deal, guys. They've never used a sewing machine, so I was very happy about showing them how to use the sewing machine. And there was different levels. One person was able to pick it up quicker, the other person wasn't. I think also the foot part of knowing that, you know, you have to learn not to really press hard on the foot part and how to control it, and also to control what you're sewing. So I break out my sewing machine that I only use for craft. I do not sew any of my clothes on there. And I bought it like over a year ago, and I think I shared it when I did my unboxing of it, and I did that for just crafting, because I feel like I can go ham on it. I don't care about it if, you know, like, not I don't care. I do care if anything happens, but I don't feel so sensitive about it compared to my Singer, where it is absolutely just clothes, and I'll feel some kind of way if something happened to it. So I was able to teach them that and have them do their own decoration. Had them learn how to do the needling of the binding of the journal, and they did a good job. And then the first one of them, I was able to show how she could do a spread. So being that we had all the souvenir from when we went for the day for snow tubing and stuff, you know, she was able to use all these different elements to create her own spread. And I kind of figured she likes art and craft. You could tell, you know, you can always tell when a kid is into that, and that was fun. And that's what we did. And we watched some movies, and we just chill and talk. And we also have a dog, and yeah, it was 5 of us and a dog, and it makes me miss Abby. And every time I think I'm ready for another dog, because I really want to get another dog eventually. I want to get 2 small dogs. It makes me like want to get one, and then at the same time it makes me miss and made me think about the grief I went to when I lost my dog. And I don't want to, it's like a part of me don't want to go through that again, because it was just such a sad moment. But you know, to have a dog for 17 years, I have to remind myself I had her for a long time. But it's something I'm thinking about, and we never know that one day you might hear some click clocking, because that was another thing. You just hear her paws going through on the floor, and it just reminded me of Abby. But one day you might hear some of that, and I haven't decided yet. She was a good dog. She did not mess with none of my plants. I was very happy about that. And yeah, and they're back in Brooklyn. I missed them already. It was nice. And I'm doing well, guys. My bucket list. Remember I said I want to socialize once a month, and I did twice this month. I did another movie night with my homegirl, I think the first week. And then of course this weekend. So I'm gonna keep it up. I'm doing it every month so far. I have been sticking to the plan of socializing, getting out some more, living a little. I'm very much an introvert, but I find that I'm overdoing it with that, and I need to be out some more and enjoy life and had fun. So I had a great weekend. It was such a good time, and I hope, you know, we can do it again summer when they can see how beautiful this area is. We're in the mountain, and it's beautiful in the spring and summer. And you know, get my garden back up, and the stuff was starting to sprout already, guys, so you can see some sprouting going on. And yeah, so that is it. That is my fun weekend, and I am hoping for more, and let me know if you watched these movies. Did you do anything wintry this year? And what are you most oh, we can do that. What are you excited about for spring? What are you excited about? I'm just excited to be able to go outside and just sit in the back and just read a book. And I want to do some more book activity as far as author events and stuff like that. I haven't done that because I don't like doing them when it's cold. So I'm hoping spring would motivate me to do some of that stuff. So yeah, so I will see you guys in the next one, and yeah, I'm in such a good mood, and let's hope this energy lasts. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.